Hey guys! Welcome to this lovely, very, very cold Friday. I mean, I guess it's not very, very cold yet. It's still just like, what, like 26 degrees, but...
It's very cold.
I'm not ready for it.
I'll tell you what, you guys, if you're out west or somewhere in a dry climate, and it's 20 degrees, it's not bad. When you're here and it's 20 degrees, you better be wearing a coat and gloves and a hat.
Yeah. Because all the moisture in the water is just clinging to you. Ugh. I'm not. I don't think I'm prepared for this winter, like, emotionally. I'm not ready for it to be here yet. I need my walks. I miss my evening walks. Stupid time change.
Wing dividers here. I gotta go
I don't
get
think
some.
so.
I gotta go get some.
Oh, Denny.
All right.
They even have your color on them, so they're yours.
Oh, all right. I wonder how they got it.
Well, you know, we trade supplies sometimes from here to there. All right, so on Wednesday, we started this lovely little Padfolio cover. This is so beautiful, Denny.
It is kind of neat,
Ugh.
you know?
Guys, a simple border, like, that's all you need. Just a simple border. Look how fun that is. We have a meander, so we meandered our little, is this a Berry King? This little tower?
Yeah, little Eiffel Tower.
Uh-huh. So we've got our little Berry King meander here, and then you have the little flower guy for your inside, and then this fun little camo for your outside. And then you just, like, I love just the little cedars that you placed in the junctures.
Yeah.
Great job.
It's, you know, and then you can't go wrong with a piece of Herman oak because it just looks fantastic.
And I have to tell you, I have to give credit to Big Ben Saddlery in Alpine, Texas, because that's where I saw this. And this is not their pattern. I made up my own, but it's what I came as close as I could to what they'd done. So
Yeah.
I'm a plagiarist.
You visualized it and then made it come to life.
Yes.
Hey, Josh, it has been a while. Welcome in. It's nice to see you. Right? But Andy, I think it's obviously it's on a piece of Herman oak.
Yeah.
Like the color of the leather. I'm just gonna rave about it for a minute because I think it looks fantastic. Would you just oil it?
Yeah, I just put an oil finish on it.
You didn't do anything else?
Didn't do anything.
Did you oil and
I oiled it this morning, so it'll probably change a little bit by tomorrow. Probably get a little
Whoopsies.
bit lighter, you know. But, and then it'll start getting darker. Take that cherry color, you know. One thing I made it to so it'll fit a legal size tablet.
Yes. It was 15.5 inches wide.
Yeah, and the prototype that I built, I put this little roll button on it.
Yeah.
And it's cute, but it's really hard to maneuver. You can get it open pretty easy, but getting it shut is, you know, people will laugh at you while you're trying to get it shut.
It won't be very demure to get it shut.
On this one, I'm using just a
stud of a button?
button stud, yes. And I'm going to put it on now before I lace this up. It'll make things a lot easier.
Okay. Oh, it's just sitting in the hole in
Yeah, I just set it in the hole there. I'll show you what it looks like when it's not sitting in the hole.
Okay.
Do you ever put any Loctite on those?
You could, yeah. It's just a screw. It's like kind of like a Chicago screw with a big knob on the end of it.
Yep, just a big doorknob.
Yeah.
I love to use them for knife sheaths.
Do you?
If I have to put a strap on it, usually I put a button stud. Every once in a while I'll put a snap. Or I have used a locks clasp once before. But I do love a button stud.
Yeah. And you can put Loctite on them if you want to. A little bit of fingernail polish or super glue will do about the same thing. It'll just keep it from loosening back up on you. But anyway, here we are. And this is the way it's going to be folded. So I made myself a little mark on each side.
Luna.
Right there. So that's where I'm going to stop my gluing.
All right. And this is one situation where we don't have to put a welt in.
Yeah. You can.
You can. Yeah, if you wanted to make it to where it's going to hold open, like if you wanted to put a couple notebooks in there,
Yeah.
or you had a certain purpose.
Tablet.
Yeah, a tablet, and you had a case on it, so it was a little bit thicker than just your. I mean, I feel like everybody.
You could also.
This would be a great little thing for a tablet.
You could also cut
That actually
yourself a piece of plywood
Oh.
and wet mold this dude. to shape. Mm-hmm. So it would be like a little briefcase.
Yeah. I actually think that's a really great idea, Rusty, is a tablet holder, because that's not too many of us still carry paper around on the daily, but typically we'll have some sort of technology, and a lot of people do a laptop or a tablet.
Lindsay, last night she got the case. She upgraded a tablet that she'd had. My God, she's had it for 7 or 8 years, you know. And she finally came to one of a decent size, and then she was like looking for some sort of something like that, and she ended up with something that's kind of what she wanted, but yeah,
She didn't come to us.
I know, right? Luna brought me the idea when I came in, right? Bound and determined to get
You
it
software controlling over here, Tony?
Sorry?
I have a ATEM software control panel up on my
I need that.
video screen.
Why don't we tell them what we're getting ready to do next week, or whenever it is that we're going to do it?
Oh, well, you glue. There you go. You got it.
Yay.
Yeah, so Denny saw something else while he was out and about in the world, checking out things. And so next week we're going to do this fun little molded valet tray. And because we literally have
Nice.
every size of circle,
That is awesome.
from coaster size up to large plate size,
That
we're
is,
going to make
We have all these round clicker
Yeah,
dies,
yeah.
so we're going to make one for each size graduated. Hopefully, at least every other one will fit inside.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's excellent.
we'll find out next
Yeah.
week. But anyway, so we'll do the same thing. We'll just do fun borders. And then Denny he's like, I could tool the bottoms of them. And this will be really great giveaways.
What are you molding them around?
Just his
all
fingers.
you got to do is snap them, and,
Oh,
and
and then
they're
just pinch mold
pre-shaped.
it,
You
yeah.
kind of got to pinch the
Just a
edge to
pinch
make
mold?
it square.
All right,
But
that's great.
Denny's just pinching.
yeah,
Look at that.
That is fantastic.
Isn't that beautiful, guys? So anyway, so next week we'll just do a whole bunch of these next week. We're
Why
going to have
doesn't
fun
it
with
have
it.
your maker's mark on the bottom of it?
Because it's,
I didn't think about it then.
It's the same.
Ah.
is it,
But
it was a,
I will from here on out.
Oh,
How's that
okay.
sound?
this does.
Yes, this does.
He was making sure it worked.
Yeah,
Well, so-
that's a prototype.
I know, I like it. So maybe you know, maybe you don't, right? So we've got Maddie that does our artwork, does all the drawing and stuff. I'm trying everything I can do to get her to sign it. Just somewhere in there, just hide your signature in the artwork.
Or
you
just
know?
initials even.
Or initials, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
you know. I think that's good. I think it's important people put their name on
I
it.
gotta
you
make
know?
Kevin do it with his trading
I
cards.
know, right? I don't doubt it.
Well, I do it with also the Springfield Leather Company.
Well, right. But see, even the belts that we make, we don't stamp for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
yeah,
So,
and they should be.
I know, right? Put your name all over it.
Okay.
Put your label on it. All right. Well, anyway, so that's next week. We'll have fun making trays out of circles. We're gonna make square things out of circular things.
Now I'm gonna
It's very
get
satisfying.
this together. Hopefully. After I'm done stitching it, I'll sand those edges, we're gonna buck stitch it. So
You know what you could also do if we did do a welt and you wanted like compartments, you just need one piece of leather, a welt on either side of the end of it, and then you just glue it all in.
Good
and then you would
point.
have two compartments. Just
good point.
put
Or
a piece of leather in there.
if I had a class 4 machine,
Shots fired.
only if we could put 2 welts in it. Put 2 thick welts and put a divider in between those two.
Yeah.
It would give you
Yeah.
a space in there.
You could do a notebook and a tablet that way. It'd give you,
Yeah, but that's only if,
if you, well,
And then you could, this would be really easy just to attach 2 little tabs to the back of it, make a little strap.
Yeah, that would be.
Put
would
it on your
make a
shoulder.
Good shoulders.
It would be a very minimalist, like travel suit, or like not suitcase, briefcase.
Briefcase,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the modern era of tablets and laptops
If you
and
have really thin material shirts and pants, you could probably use it as a suitcase.
hey, you ever camped on a motorcycle, buddy?
What
I can
Yeah,
fit a
I
lot.
have.
I can fit a lot of clothes in a saddlebag.
Bring them to
We
me.
were talking about yesterday about my umpiring bag. I can fit six
I hid them under the poundo.
6 changes of
I
undergarment
appreciate you writing.
in just the bottom of a suitcase. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's all military rolled,
That's
ranger rolled.
Roll it up tight.
We do sell the circles. Yeah, we have circles from, and they're all on the website.
I-
From like Did you link them?
I did.
Perfect. They're from coaster size. Obviously, we have like the.
Well,
we literally.
We got like one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have every size of circle that you could ever want, up to an 18-inch.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do that, you can cut them yourself.
Ouch.
It's hard to cut pretty round, but you can.
You can.
Can.
You can.
But we
And they
do-
don't have to be perfect, really.
Denny, you're not helping us sell
It would
leather
be hard
here.
to see the imperfection in
This
it.
is why Denny only makes $4 an hour.
Good point. Keep reminding them of that.
Never mind, go on and follow that link and buy the circles.
All right, here we go, Luna.
Ooh, a branding iron. You got it. You're good. You're good. Everything's good. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. Chris is here today. You could go see
Is
him.
he?
Yeah.
The door was shut when I went to.
Well,
I went to talk to him. All right, Luna.
Luna,
I think I need to
I am
deliver
not
you.
going to hurt you.
she says, I don't believe it. Rusty, come back. Let me out with you. You got a 1/4-inch seam allowance there on the side?
Yeah, a quarter or maybe even, not a quarter, it's probably about 3/16.
Yeah.
As close as my eye would tell me.
Chill. Your thumbs don't work. Okay? You can't open it. You can only shut it.
Yeah, but this would be super quick. You just cut out a whole bunch of them, put different kind of meanders around the edges.
Yeah. Or just leave it plain. The one that I saw was plain and it looked deluxe, you know?
Yeah. Boom.
Or you could get fancy and just floral carve the whole dadgum thing.
That's right. You can be as fancy as you want. I do like the idea of the welt situation with the divider in it.
I do too.
The welt on either side, the divider. For all you saddle makers out there, you can just use your leftover saddle skirting, welt it out, cut a couple strips.
Yeah, and you could do this in pieces also instead of this, because let me, oh, I can't spread it out now, I've got it glued together.
That's true.
But that's a pretty good sized piece of leather, you know?
It's 26, 25.5 inch, or I think it's 26 from the all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that kind of lays out perfectly down a side.
Yeah.
Cut a whole side out into it.
We
Yeah.
gave the measurements for it, all scan it in. Our big printer has been having issues. So I'll try to scan it in and make you a dealio for it.
Okay, now I'm gonna go stretch these holes out a little bit before I start.
What are you stretching it with?
A fid,
A lacing fid,
yes.
because we're going buck stitch again. You could round lace, or not round lace,
Double
but
loop.
double loop the edge,
Yeah, that would look good.
and then you don't have to finish the edge. Especially when you're just doing the no welt style. Just a nice double loop down the edge.
Yeah.
Good to go. Man, you could drill the wood every so often, glue it in, and then you could do like the extra long or like the long double cap rivets. If you wanted to do wood on the edge, you can kind of sand everything and you could finish it.
Yeah.
Or a rivet and burr?
Or rivet and burrs, yeah.
Milo had a question there. You could put some pig suede inside of it, would look
You
really
could,
good.
you could do that, or you could just thin down a piece of veg left over, just like a small circle, and just glue it over the top. That's a lot of times how Denny will cover like the brads on a purse clasp or something, is he'll just glue down a piece of leather that he's skived super thin just to protect it. So you could do the
Yeah.
same thing if you were worried about it scratching your tablet or your laptop. You could just
Yeah,
glue a piece of leather down, because nobody's ever going to see it.
yeah.
If you
Well,
double
and
loop-
this,
Or you could line it. I mean, definitely that would be a whole step above what we're doing here.
actually this, when you screw this down tight, it actually kind of makes a
Pulls
dimple.
up.
It compresses the leather there, so probably you wouldn't have a problem anyway, but if you're afraid,
if you felt like you needed to,
We are
do it.
scratching that up because the
If you're double loop lacing, Denny, do you finish your edges before you double, or dye your edge before you double loop lace, or do you just let it happen?
Generally, I do not, because it's a double loop lace should, by rights, cover your edge and you shouldn't see it. But,
If you're afraid it's not going to.
yeah, if you're afraid it's not going to, or if you're doing something really
If you're doing
thick,
that welt situation,
really
you have a wide
thick,
edge that it
yeah,
won't
you
cover
will,
and
you will have a little bit of
Yeah.
exposure there.
and you should finish it first.
I'll get you a pattern, Garrett. What's the main body of that? The main measurements, Elizabeth?
26 inches by 15 and a half. That's your rectangle, 26 by 15 and a half. So from this tippity point down to this situation,
The tippity bottom?
the tippity bottom. You kind of got to go, anyways, 26 by 15 and a half.
And then cut you
And then make your top fancy,
You're fairly flat.
and then cut a little recess here so that you can get into it so it's not completely flush on this edge.
Your document side.
Correct.
Your sleeve side. There you go.
I guess I didn't do the dimensions. I forgot dimensions.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm not done yet.
I don't know if Michael found a millimeter one.
I mean, we sent him to one.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, because there was one on our site. I don't know if he bought it from us. But,
Oh yeah, because you talked about centimeters and millimeters. That you can just math them. Or add a zero.
well, I think we have a ruler here that is our European one. So somebody had linked him to that.
If you're American outside the bathroom, Liz, what are you when you're inside the bathroom?
European. I got it. $15 and a half, Garrett. Garrett said I did a similar thing for Air MacBook 13 with your maroon water buffalo and lined it with pig suede. Nice. All right. Oh, well, that dimension's written upside down.
When we were buck stitching those shaps, it was a lot harder than this because you weren't right on the edge of something.
Yeah.
You were right out in the middle.
So your first fold is from the edge 9.5 inches, and then your second fold is then again at 11, and then your flap is the rest of it. So we've got 9.5 inches is your first fold, another 11 will get you up to here, and then the remainder of your length will be your flap.
Can I get rid of these?
Yes. I knew you were gonna need them,
I did at first there, yes.
but now they're just gonna scratch up all your stuff.
Thank you so much. And this is just some Latigo lace that I cut. I cut it to about 3/16 and split it down pretty thin. You can use any kind of lace that you have. Kangaroo would be great. I just like the look of this burgundy Latigo.
Mm-hmm. It'll look really great with a saddle that you make.
Yeah.
Good morning, Edward.
Scissor hands?
Walton. if you were gonna do a 2-ply already, then that leaves open, you could totally do like an exotic inlay on the front flap. If you wanted to do something fun. Boop. Thanks, Garrett. That is true. Yeah. Garrett's making notes for later. First fold, 9.5. Second fold, from the edge, 20.5. Flap is the remainder, 15.5 inches wide. I am excited about making all of these trays next week. We're just gonna have a fun time tooling.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. I'm gonna help. Maybe even Tony will come over and hammer out some borders with us.
Yeah, we do borders, and in the center, you could even do a full, like a basket weave or some sort of a geo stamp in the middle. You geo stamp the whole thing. You wouldn't have to do just the bottom.
It'll be funner to do that on the small ones than the big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you were doing a floral carving, would you do it before you?
Yes.
Do you know where your bottom's going to be?
Approximately. What I could do is just take this one and measure from this corner to this, and that would give me an approximate spot, you know.
Yeah, because they'll all be about the same height.
Yeah. Well, now the smaller ones, I kind of graduated the
where you
the
put your
fold
snaps.
is, and,
Okay, now that
and
makes
also
sense.
the weight of the leather, because a small one would be pretty clunky. We don't want clunk.
Really knock somebody out.
Oh no! I missed a hole.
What's the best method to get the fold to keep it straight?
Fold,
this?
do this. Get these edges, hold them down, and just bring it down like this.
So you just measure up.
This is not a real tight fold, for one thing.
Right.
You know, the main thing I'm looking for is right here. If it billows out a little bit in here, that's great, because it'll give you a little more room.
Yeah. So
You know,
just mark your this edge here right under your flap, and then you're just gonna fold this. Oh no, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mark however far up you're gonna come there. So where your 9.5 inches is, you're gonna measure up 9.5, and that's where you're gonna put your mark.
And you don't do that when it's dry, folks. You do that when it's wet.
Oh.
It needs to be damp so you can shape it.
Okay.
You know, you can fold all you want to when it's dry, but it's got a memory of its own.
So
Yeah.
when you go to fold it, Denny, and you've wet it, do you put a line in it where you're going to fold it to keep it straight? Or
No,
lay it
just
over the table?
I mark each edge here. And then I'll fold it over and match the corners to that edge, and then hold it down in the middle and just kind of mash down on
So
it.
we're finding these points here.
Yeah.
And then you just fold it over.
Yeah.
So maybe just right after you finish tooling and the leather's still
Yes,
damp,
that's exactly
you
what
can
I
just fold
did
it, because
there.
you can oil the whole thing like this. You want to finish this top edge first.
Yes.
So you got to finish this guy.
You got to bevel the edge and burnish it. And I always burnish this part too.
Yeah.
And this one, actually I did bevel it, but I'll probably re-bevel it.
When you're all done and finish
Yeah.
it up.
Oh, I was pulling this back out because I missed a hole. See?
Too much talking.
Oh, way back there.
We can't have that. We have enough of that when I don't mean to. When I forget it.
Garrett says he approves your choice of a button stud. He used a snap on his, and he regretted it because you have to push it so hard, and it's up against, electronic
Yeah.
device. And so,
I think that even in Garrett's case, one of those locks clasp would have been perfect.
yeah, because the locks just kind of pulls up. Then you don't have to push. There's not a lot of
When
push.
you're pushing it, it's just basically closing.
Yeah.
We have some new style ones. They're not locks clasp, but we have some new style ones coming.
Have you guys been seeing all the new hardware
Have you seen
on our
them yet?
website? I have. I saw them. They were on Kendall's desk yesterday, along with the.
Delightful.
The owls.
No. No, lock style ones, not Locke's class. But
I know.
Lock style ones.
Yes, I saw them.
Not the owls.
Correct. They were next to the owls on her table.
Sometimes it's impossible to talk to.
I know. I'm saying yes, I've seen them.
Oh, great! I'm glad you can see them.
Anyways,
And
we
then
have
there's
been
the owl ones.
adding lots of new hardware. We've got some really cool, I think they came out a week or two ago, bag feet that are rivet-on, correct?
Well, they're double cap rivets, but they're just flat, so they work really great. They're called raised flat rivets,
Yeah.
and it would be a perfect.
It's like a really
foot.
low-profile foot
Mm-hmm.
that rivets on. So I'm super excited about
You
those.
do have to get a new setter with it, but the setter I think is only like $6, $6.50, something like that.
That's not bad. You can't just like put a piece of leather on the other side and hammer it like you would.
We also have a circle marking template. Maybe we could try to use that too. We just came.
Oh, next week?
That just came from Ivan. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how big the circles go. Oh, we'll figure it out.
How big? What?
Never mind. I'll have to look at it.
The circle marking template?
Mm-hmm.
It goes from a 1/4-inch circle all the way up to a 12-inch circle.
Gotcha.
So it's just a long little ruler thing that you put your little pin in.
Yeah, and then
hold
you
it,
spin.
And spin it around.
Those are fun.
You spin me right round. Circles.
Hey, brown bird.
What do you do, girl? What other new items are in there? SB foot poppy, SB foot hillbilly, vine embossed cow, which is gorgeous.
That's a pretty cool leather. I like those
Viking
vines.
stamps, a new color of the floral croc embossed, the state of Alaska shape,
Which apparently is a dye that we've had for a long time. We've just never completed the
year.
number.
button studs, economy end punches, English tapered corners. They're kind of cool. 25-pound off.
Oh, now you're off, aren't you?
Yeah, that's all right. It's still going through.
Well, Denny, have you been thinking about, well, I guess you're starting your saddle class soon, aren't you?
Yeah,
A couple weeks.
first weekend in January.
And you got 5 people or 4?
5.
5 students making saddles.
Wasn't there a guy that was coming to live with?
Yeah, a guy from Utah is coming to stay with his cousin, uncle,
Somebody.
Found somebody to stay with?
ex-friend, maybe.
Ex-friend. They might be an ex-friend after however long he's going to stay with them.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Well, I think it's pretty neat. If Kevin will, or if Rusty will get me my class 4, if he doesn't, it's going to be kind of a disaster.
You might tell him that it's
Because he
It's
sold,
time sensitive.
I could have barely gotten by with that class 3,
Yeah.
but he sold it so that he could buy the class 4.
I'll remind him.
Yeah. And I just checked with Dan. He's got all my leather. in
He came to
hand.
me yesterday.
Yeah.
Come on down, Chevy. Don't say it if you don't mean it.
Tony doesn't know it yet, but I'm moving in with him, says Chevy.
There's plenty of room in the chicken coop.
That one old hen, you got to be careful of her though.
You got Dolly.
It's Dolly feisty.
She pretty possessive.
She is the matriarch.
Is she broody?
No,
She doesn't want to sit on her eggs.
no. She has to be the first one to lay though in the morning, and that makes Nugget mad. Then Nugget just squawks at her. And Nugget will sit in there and say,
Just pulled your lace right out, didn't you?
I broke it.
Oh no.
That's all right. We'll fix it
pull it all
here.
out and do it over again.
We will fix it here where no one hopefully will know it.
All right, Denny, how do we fix our buck stitch when it breaks?
Okay, what I'm going to do here, I've got to pull the glue edge apart.
Man, like 4 holes left.
Yeah, and what I'm gonna do is tuck,
Oh,
see, I've got about a
Perfect.
quarter or 3/8 of an inch of lace there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna pull it through if I can. Just tuck it to the inside.
gonna give it a good tuck job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's tucked. And hopefully no one will ever know that happened. And when I do this, I'm gonna
There you go.
come through that. Gotta make sure I go the right direction. Come through about like that.
Oh. So we got a little half-inch tail there.
And I'm gonna tuck that tail in.
We'll have a couple tails tucked.
Now,
Are you gonna glue it back up?
nope.
Okay. I guess maybe the glue will repinch.
Yeah, it'll repinch.
You guys have been really fabulous about getting all your live shopping orders paid.
We're about done with them.
We did. We got 4 really big ones with the saddle skirting. Not gonna lie, any of you guys that got saddle skirting, most of those have not gone out yet because those are the hardest things for Tony and I to roll up, and we can only keep a few of them in here at a time. So we did some of the mahogany, we did some of the splitting on that, but all the Herman Oak skirting, except for 2, is in the coffee shop. So this afternoon we'll go wrangle out some pieces of skirting, and we'll fill those.
I'm out of hours for this week, so
Okay.
I'll probably be done after the video.
Now to end this,
I'm kidding.
you guys, to end this, I'm on the back side here. Stretch this hole out a little bit. I'm gonna come out through that outside. So I've actually double stitched, double laced right here, this last hole. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't bring scissors, but I do have a sharp pocket knife.
I have scissors.
Okay, you're gonna clip this off flush. I'm gonna clip this one off flush. That one's done, other than,
Are you gonna hammer it?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she's gone, isn't she?
Yes, she is gone.
Okay, she won't care if I hammer. And I need a hammer.
Do you want the granite back?
Yes.
I put away too soon.
Doubletree was asking, missed some info on Denny's saddle class. Is that listed somewhere?
Oh,
No.
There.
so this is how Denny's saddle class. You need to leave that here. This is how Denny's saddle class worked. He had somebody come in and was like, "Hey, Denny, I want to make a saddle with you." And Denny said, "All right, well, you find 3 other friends because it's a minimum of 4 people." So dude went out and found some friends. And
now we have 5.
and then there was one addition. So it really wasn't advertised all that much. I think we kind of talked about it for a week or 2,
It
but
was almost full before you even told me about it, Denny.
yeah,
Yeah.
his buddy that wanted to take the class somehow has a few friends that also want to build saddles. So it's incredible. Nope. So you're gonna go through the middle?
I'm trying to figure out what I did here. I think I've got to, yeah,
He needs to match the other side.
this side, yes. Pull that tail over that way a little bit.
Yeah, we've had a couple decent sized live shopping orders so far go over there. 2 rollers. I know Tessa's is going to be huge because she got 4 sides of saddle skirting.
There we go.
So Denny did a little wrap here around the edge.
Yeah, just on each edge.
Yeah,
Just
so that it doesn't pull apart. And it also looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
So probably if he were doing this at his actual workbench, this edge would have been finished before he started lacing. But because we're not at his workbench and he doesn't want to spend an hour hand sanding it, he's not going to do that.
How much time have I got?
20
4
minutes.
minutes.
Ah, that's plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Barring disaster.
Who went to the NFR last night?
Her daughter.
I
What
watched it
what's
last
the
night.
NFR on? What?
The Cowboy Channel. I want it.
And I don't have that.
Rural TV. I think they ended up riding like 8 bulls out of the 15 last night. I went 90. I would have won. I told you I won. Actually, I think Creek we got. No, I think we did. It's not 90.
I watched more Arcane last night. I think I could watch that show. I told Chris, I was like, I'm just going to watch this show until I'm done watching this show. Because it's so good.
What is it?
It's an animated show called Arcane. It's on Netflix. Anyways, it's a fantastic show. It's based off a video game. But it's got really good character development. It's got a lot of Easter eggs to find. It's got really good music.
What's even better than that is a dude riding a bull.
Yes, Chevy, I would be.
You didn't have to ride a bull. Start off with bareback. There you go.
Brown Bird, how are those quails? Were they yummy?
Jump off.
I assume you ate them since they came out of a freezer.
Onto a steer.
I don't know if I've ever eaten quail.
Quail
There was-
is
there was
very
one
good.
guy last
Quail
night.
gravy. Oh,
Yeah.
biscuits and quail gravy.
That's what Josh said about squirrel gravy.
Yeah.
That one was a tough one for me to choke down.
Although, just fried squirrel. Fry it like chicken. If it's not a real old one or a male.
I don't remember what it
they're pretty
was.
strong. But squirrel's good.
How does quail and pheasant compare?
Quail is more. Pheasant's kind of stringy, kind of tough compared to a quail. Quail, about the only thing edible on a quail is the breast. Because they're little bitty birds, you know. Their legs aren't big enough to eat. You couldn't find them.
Maybe if you're a baby, you could gnaw off a...
The squirrel's eating the quail legs.
Yeah.
They're still frozen. She doesn't know. I guess she just got today. She just picked up the quails today.
There was a guy steer wrestling last night, Denny,
Yeah.
but the steer turned away from him, so he just ran it down all the way until he was coming back out to go out the gate. Like, turn around and come back out the gate he came in.
Uh-huh.
When he got to the gate, some reason he just fell off his horse.
He just fell.
Yeah, he just fell off of
Maybe
it.
he was done.
The horse didn't buck or nothing, he just fell off.
Yeah, I'm
Was he
thinking-
okay?
I mean, he's a steer wrestler. Those guys aren't okay. Fair. Jump off a perfectly good horse
Hey, Wayne.
onto a steer.
Yeah, no, that
'Cause it's
doesn't sound like a very intelligent decision.
Intelligence is boring.
Either does riding a bull.
Yeah.
That's not intelligent at all.
There's a lot of things that humans do that we really... It's not for the self-preservation of the species, that's for sure.
Maybe it was Diamond. Diamond Leathers also just fall off a horse.
He know, Tony. I resemble your remark.
I think it's supposed to be hey now.
Oh. Mention squirrel. We got freedom over here. I love me some squirrel dumplings. Ugh.
I haven't ridden enough horses to fall off a horse for no reason.
Yeah, maybe you just get bored sitting on it. And you're like, I gotta do
This
something
side
new.
of the way. I didn't jump off of it when I was going down. I might as well fall off here. Pants are gonna be dirty. My wife's gonna be upset. She ain't got no laundry to do.
Denny,
Yeah.
Chevy needs to know your shirt size.
2X.
2X.
At the NFR.
Did you hear that, Chevy? Are you still out there? You haven't said anything in a minute. Denny's a 2X.
All right, that sounds wonderful. That's a leading question, right?
How big a boy are you?
Yeah, just how big.
Good, I guessed right. Okay, so we have a story about that. So yesterday, Denny disappeared in the middle of the afternoon, and then we're like, where did Denny go? And so Chevy was texting me because you're trying to get my shirt, your shirt size, and I was like, I think he's at lunch. And the next thing I know, Tony comes in here, and he's like, hey, Ryan was just in, and he was like, have you seen Denny? Or like, do you have Denny's phone number? Because his truck is running, but I haven't seen him in a while. And so Tony was like, well, did you go check his truck? And so then, did you go out there?
Well, I called him from here and I started walking that way. And I was like, I'll just go out there if he doesn't answer.
Turns out Denny might have taken some narcotics that were not his.
He did.
He went home and he took his lunchtime medicines, and those weren't his medicines.
Yeah, I took my wife's nighttime medicine.
I saw his little head poke up with the truck, and he's like, hello?
So then he went home and slept real good last night.
Like, Denny? Yeah?
What are you doing?
Yeah. And he's like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
he said, I'm just not feeling too well. I said, well, you should just go home. I'll be in just a second. I said, well, you don't have to. I said, I was just checking to make sure you were still alive.
Gotta keep an eye on you these days.
Alive was just a barely deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I need a question.
All right, Diamond. I don't know what kind of question this is. Oh, maybe it's not a question. All right. So Diamond S. Leather
Okay, well, that
said,
could have been what happened.
in a small pen, on a dodging horse, when you get to a corner, sometimes it's better to bail off and instead of trying to make a 90-degree corner. Ask me how I know. I missed that night due to a podcast interview. Well, aren't you fancy?
Well, you know how they go
What
out.
podcast were you interviewed on?
When you go out of the Thomas and Mack, it's just straight. Like, you go straight, you don't turn. But you are around a bunch of other horses and a bunch of people on the ground.
If the gates closed, you dadgum better turn.
Well, yeah. It was open, though.
All right.
Oh, Chevy said, I thought we paid for extra Denny watch since the motorcycle incident, which was a bicycle incident.
Yeah, it was bicycle. But now I have an electric bike. So if I
you got an electric one
I got
too.
an electric bike.
You upgraded.
So I can keep up with my wife.
She was moving too fast for you.
Yeah.
Denny said, I need me one of them electric things. I can't pedal this hard.
So I got me one. I haven't got it put together yet, but
Look at that. We can go check out Diamond on a cowboy mounted shooting podcast. That's fun.
that's something else I've never tried. I
I've
can't
been-
hit nothing when I'm standing still.
No. One of our knife friends, TJ Schwartz, he's been doing a podcast with somebody for a while, and so Chris has been pulling that up, and we've been listening to it, and he just invested in a really fancy CNC machine because he does knife production. And so he started out his career designing knives for companies like CRKT and things like that. But then he decided he wanted to make them. So now he doesn't make folders, which is what he was designing. He makes a fixed blade. And he is astronomically technical. So Carrie's son, Carrie Schwartz's son. And so he's a knife designer. Anyways, his podcast is really fascinating. He's been talking about this new machine that he got not too long ago, I think. He's been getting it up and running, showing us how it works. And like the things that he's doing with it, he's grinding a bevel on a knife. And so
With a CNC machine.
With a CNC machine.
Wow.
And so I guess it's a I forgot he said the knife maker. Chris Reeves. So whatever the company that Chris Reeves, if you guys are folder people out there, you'll know who he is. He makes a really high-end folder that's more on the manufactured side than the custom side. And so he kind of designed this process that TJ is using to grind bevels in on a CNC machine, because I guess he has one other worker that works with him, and he was just like sandblasting, or somehow he was having to blast all the lines off of the blade to get it to the smoothness that he wanted from however they used to be grinding the bevels in. So it's really fascinating. If you guys are machine and techie, we've been listening to that, and it's pretty interesting. I love it. I love all the podcasts. Just people telling their stories, talking about how they do things, how they're making it through life, their little skills that they found.
That's neat.
I love it.
That's very neat.
Just semi-regular people talking to the world, just like us, I guess. This is what we do.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, look at that little Padfolio holder, little mini briefcase, however you want to fancy it up. I just love that border. There's something about just a simple border with just plain leather in the middle
Yeah.
that's, I just love
Does
it.
look good.
It's perfect.
If you use a slicker on your leather, it gives it a completely different look too, especially if it's going to be plain like that.
Yeah.
Gives it a really nice patina.
It does. It just shines. It's got this awesome, just little.
Yeah, and there's no top coat on that.
No.
That's just Neatsfoot oil,
and
period.
saddle soap at this. Did you saddle
I
soap?
didn't even saddle soap.
Nope, not yet.
I did just a little bit in a spot like that on the front. But
Yeah, we had a couple issues with our granite. But in any case, so there's that. Make it your own. Make it, put a strap on it, put a bigger welt in it, put a divider panel in the middle. Because honestly, I really do think, I don't have a laptop with me, but we have, I do like that. I like that kind of wide open slot situation.
Yeah.
I wonder if next time one of our vendors is here, we could see if they could make that kind of
Yeah.
punch since Osborne doesn't make it anymore. So we've got, I mean, you've got 9.5 inches, but you could probably add up to a 1/2 inch welt without changing the dimensions.
Sure.
And just opening it up a little bit. As long as your specific laptop will still fit in.
Well, and the thing is too, you know, you've got room up at the top.
Yeah, because it wants
You've
to
got
open
room
here.
up at the top. You've got another 3/4 of an inch if you needed it.
Well, and it's already kind of open, so if you
Yeah.
expanded this, then this would still be fine. Because you have plenty of room, it's already wanting to bubble on you. So, all right. Well, guys, that is our little Padfolio. Next
They
week,
said simple border. Isn't it only two tools?
3,
4.
4. Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, and the bead tool.
Yeah.
But you don't need a bead line. Sure makes it look good though.
Yeah. Well, and your little cedar.
Oh, and the cedar. 5. Keep adding them.
But it's not carving. The thing that I like about just with a stamp is anybody can do it. Like, you just got to become proficient at getting your stamp down. But you don't have to be a carver. You don't have to work your bevel. You don't have to do all of these different things to, like, have a nice, clean veg
Yeah,
product.
you just got to be patient.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it.
that's all she wrote. So, all right. So next week we will just be valet traying it up in here with making fun little... We're going to make circles into squares. And I love that. So everybody have a fantastic weekend. If you have not processed your order yet, please make the time to go do that this weekend so that we can finish filling them early next week so we can do live shopping again Thursday. Maybe we'll do Bundy's. Maybe we'll do something kind of easy. But all right, everybody have a great one. Stay warm out there, and we'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.